Hi, Schlockmeister fans. We're gonna watch a Mario Bava movie, Hatchet for the Honeymoon. Let's check it out. All right, our movie starts out on a train. This dude's on a train. He looks shady. He sneaks into one of the cars and finds a honeymoon couple. And he takes a cleaver to them. Puts on the do not disturb sign and he's off on his way. Look at that toy train he's riding.
My name is John Harrington. I'm 30 years old. I am a paranoiac. Paranoid. An enchanting word. So civilized and full of possibilities. The fact is, I am completely mad. 5 young women.
He's killed a few people.
3 of whom are buried in the hothouse. Carol, Mary, Margaret. They were the friendliest.
This is his wife Mildred. He wants to divorce her.
I'll never give you a divorce. Never. We shall stay married until death do us part.
He runs this wedding gown business and he's hiring this woman
You
named
seem to be
Helen.
very intelligent and rather witty.
I think I am.
I can offer you a month's trial at 500 francs a week. Right fertilizer.
And here's the cop who's investigating all these murders. They're all former employees of his.
And on their wedding night. Not to mention the 4 missing. Maybe their husbands weren't too keen about marriage.
Here's another employee.
Mr. Harrington, I wanted to notify you that I'm going to have to quit working for you
Why?
because I'm getting married.
As if tonight really belonged to us.
He wants this woman to try on a wedding dress.
Each time.
And then he kills her.
John.
After he kills her, he takes the body and puts it in this incinerator he has. Every house has one.
Well, and she asked me to pay her a visit.
Mildred's leaving
Keep
for a
her
bit.
company. So, if you have no objections, I'll go tomorrow.
She's supposed to be gone for a week, but all of a sudden, like a day later, she's back.
I'm not a ghost, my dear. I took the first plane back. I wanted to surprise you, and apparently I did. Where have you been? With some woman? What were the 2 of you doing? Did you tell her how much you loved your mother?
You don't want to separate from me. And I don't want you around my neck. What other solution is there? I hated these last years with you. And now,
Somebody attacks Mildred. His trusty cleaver. Every time he kills a woman, he seems to have these flashbacks to some horrible traumatic event that occurred when he was a child.
we heard a woman screaming. Screaming? Yes, we certainly heard. Oh,
The cops are focusing in on him, but the
You're
screaming
influenced by a very
he's going to claim was from a TV show he was watching. There's another flashback. That's John as a
I
child.
thought Mommy did. Something awakened me that night. It was
What are you filling the cup for?
your wife asked for it.
So as far as he can tell, everybody still thinks his wife is around. And like they can even see her. And then he sees her too. Is it a ghost?
I'll never leave you, John. Never. Everyone will see me except you.
I think now you'll leave me in peace.
He's got her ashes in a handbag there.
Won't you, Mildred?
He figures up by dumping her in the drink, that'll keep the ghost away. But when he gets home, the handbag is back. Maybe he's crazy. I mean, he said he was mad, right? So it wouldn't be surprising that he sees Mildred's ghost everywhere.
Jen and I have been here all evening.
The police come to question him,
We
and
decided to spend the night together.
Helen comes out, and
Any objections?
she'd been with him.
Oh, no, of course not, Miss Wood.
You won't be long, will you? Phew.
We then see the flashback. Apparently John killed his mother and another guy. Is that father, I guess?
Wood, you're a very courageous young lady.
He was about to kill Helen, and then the cops show up. It was all a setup. They sent Helen there kind of as a guinea pig to lure out the killer.
John, at first you couldn't see me, and now nobody will see me except you. And we'll always be together. At first in the insane asylum, and then in hell for eternity.
Go.
All right, let's talk about this movie, Hatchet for the Honeymoon. This is a Mario Bava directed film, Italian giallo film. I've had this in my collection since probably 1989. I rented it, I believe, and copied it and never watched it. I think I watched it actually probably 5, 6, 7 years later once, and again today for a second time. I didn't remember anything from the first time I watched it, nothing. So what we have here is a guy named John, I believe was his name. He runs some sort of business where he creates bridal outfits, you know, bride dresses, that sort of thing. And he's also a maniac, and he admits to that. He kills these women. He kills a woman who's going to get married. He kills brides to be, often on their wedding night if he can get away with it. And then he burns them up in his incinerator and scatters the ashes. So that's what he does. While he's killing these women, he always has these repressed memories from when he was a child, but he doesn't quite know what happened. We see like little flashbacks of what happened, and we know something horrible happened. Obviously, that must have shaped his life too. So anyway, he hooks up with. He's married to this woman named Mildred who doesn't like him. He wants a divorce, but she refuses. She wants to stay with him for God knows why. She's the one who put most money into this business. So she said, yeah, I'm never going to divorce you. You're going to be with me forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So nonetheless, he falls in love with this other woman named Helen who works at his place. Another woman decides she's going to quit the job there because she's going to get married. So she ends up getting killed next by him. He uses a cleaver to kill all his victims. There's a police inspector poking around trying to find out who's responsible for all these murders. Excuse me. And he seems to focus in on John, even though he has really no proof of anything. So ultimately, John ends up killing Mildred and scatters her ashes into a lake or some water somewhere. He keeps seeing her ghost all around the house, though. He's haunted by Mildred. He can't escape that. Ultimately, Helen is over there one night, and then he wants her to get dressed up in a wedding gown. And as he's about to kill her, the police burst in and arrest him. It turns out they had basically used Helen as a guinea pig. She agreed to do it, but it was all a setup to try to lure John into trying to kill her so they could catch him red-handed, and they do. As they're taking John away, John is in the back of the paddy wagon, I guess, and the ghost of Helen appears again, or Mildred appears again, his wife, and says, I told you would never leave me forever. I am going to be with you forever. First in the insane asylum, and then in hell. And then he freaks out, and that's how our movie ends. So that is Hatchet for the Honeymoon. It's an okay film. It's, again, a horror giallo film. I'm not a big fan of giallo films, Although this one wasn't as confusing and convoluted and didn't have a whole lot of moving parts to it. It was all basically very simple. It wasn't a whodunit, because we know who done it from the very get-go. He admits to doing these things. So it was just really a slasher film, and I prefer that over, normal giallo film. So there you go. I think there was a little bit of nudity thrown in here, not a lot. Some of the gore sequences were decent. Yeah, not much to say about it. It's just a typical slasher film, although it came out in 1970, not the 80s. So there you go. That's Hatchet for the Honeymoon. I'm sure this thing's been released on like better Blu-ray editions and stuff. I've had this thing from oldies.com, Alpha Video. I've had this in my collection probably since the early 2000s, a long time ago. Who knows where I got this, Best Buy or something, I don't know. But anyway, that's it. I'll leave a link to a Blu-ray. I'm sure there is one, like I said, on Amazon if you're interested in buying it. And it's decent. Check it out. Leave some comments on what you think about Hatchet for the Honeymoon. Watch it. Bye.